Welcome to the Morning Swim Show for Wednesday, March 21st, 2012. I'm your host, Peter Busch, alongside Jeff Commings. Today, we're going to break down the men's Division I swimming and diving championships, which start tomorrow in Federal Way, Washington. Jeff is a former Texas Longhorn. I'm a former Arizona Wildcat. Pretty fitting because Texas and Arizona, most likely the teams to beat at this meet. Jeff, I'm going to take a guess that you are picking Texas.
I'm picking Texas, but not because I'm a Longhorn. I'm picking them because they just look good in every event, and they're going to score the points that they need, not only in the relays, but across all the strokes, hundreds and 200s, and that's what you really need to win this meet.
As someone who has followed Arizona swimming for a long, long time, it's been kind of a weird year in that with the new coach, Eric Hansen, they swim faster in season in dual meets than they ever did when my dad was coach, and it would actually kind of make me feel good though to see them swim not so fast at the conference meet, because that's how Arizona does it. They save out for the NCAAs, and they usually have the best drops. Doesn't necessarily mean they're always the fastest, but they have the best drops. So at least I think they're ready to continue that legacy. I think it's going to be a great meet, and I can't say definitively that Arizona will win, but I think it's going to be a really fast meet top to bottom.
And it's going to be a close meet, I think. I don't think it's going to be like it was last year where pretty much Cal had it locked up by the start of the third day of finals. I think it's going to really come down to who's got the depth in each of these events. And you've got Texas and Arizona, and you've got Stanford as well, who have really got some swimmers who could put up a lot of great places, help them all out in relays, and I think it's just going to be a real dogfight down to even the last event, I bet.
It will be one of those meets, I believe, where relays are really the difference, because Arizona's got great medleys, and they're seeded first in both medley relays, but their freestyle is certainly their weak point. They have enough, I think, to be top 8 in all of the relays, but they're not going to win any of those relays. But I think those relays, every little point is going to make a difference.
Absolutely. You got Auburn, who's going to be the spoiler in the sprint relays too, taking away those crucial team points from Arizona, Stanford, and Texas. But it's just going to be who. Eddie Reese, when I was at Texas, said it's not just how you swim in finals, it's how you swim in prelims, and every team has got to swim well in prelims to get those final spots, because that's where the points are going to be most important.
I think for Arizona to win, they need Texas to not do what Texas does, and that's put like 3 guys in the final, the 200 free, a couple guys in the 100. They need to have other teams kind of bump them out, not let them load up, because Arizona has some events where they'll load up, like the breaststrokes, the IMs, the backstrokes, but again, they lose depth in the freestyles. Giles Smith is really helping them on the butterfly this year, but they're going to get fat on those couple of events, and they can't have Texas, be matching them with quality in certain events.
Right, absolutely.
So there's going to be some interesting performers to watch, and for me, the best duel, because they're swimming the same events, same 3 events, and they both have a chance to win all 3 or 1 or 2, is David Nolan, the fantastic freshman from Stanford, who we've talked about a lot on the Morning Swim Show, and Arizona senior Corey Chitwood. They're both swimming the 100, 200 backstroke, and the 200 IM.
Yeah, everybody obviously is looking for David Nolan to see what he could do. We remember last year at Pennsylvania State meet, he swam a time that would have won NCAAs, but now he's got to go up against Corey Chitwood, who is obviously looking to, kind of avenge the second place he got last year. That's going to be a really good battle, but I'm really looking forward to that 100 backstroke, because it's not Corey's best event. I don't think it's necessarily David's best event. So, which of those two can really get into that first place finish? And then that 200 backstroke, it's a wild card. I mean, I don't really know what David Nolan's capable of in that 200 backstroke, and I can't, count him out of anything. And we know Corey is really capable of, 138 even. So, it's just going to be who really wants it the most.
If David's going to beat Corey, he's going to have to go at least 138.
Absolutely.
Corey, in his senior year, he's a tough guy. He is not going to go down easily. He'll go 137, I think, if he has to. He's going to be all out for that, his last race as an Arizona Wildcat. Now, I think if one of those guys wins 2 of the 3 events, they probably win swimmer of the meet, unless Tom Shields wins 2 or 3, which is highly probable, at least the 100 fly. Could certainly win the 200 fly or 100 backstroke as well. So I think out of those 3 guys, one of them will be your swimmer of the meet.
Absolutely, and yeah, you can't forget Tom Shields. He could be the spoiler in the 100 back too. He won last year. But I really am looking forward to see him in that 100 fly now that he doesn't have the pressure of racing Austin Staub like he did last year, where he probably knows he's going in as the heavy favorite. I think he's going to be more relaxed. He's going to pop up a really fast time that's going to make us all kind of amazed. I know last year you kind of half serious said that someone was going to go 43.
I was actually really serious and looked like a fool after that prediction, but Shields has the talent and speed in the short course pool to do that, so
Absolutely.
I won't be stunned if somebody goes 43.9.
Absolutely. I think he's got, the best dolphin kicks out there right now, and that's really his strength, and I don't think anybody can touch him.
One of the reasons why I think one of those guys will win the swimmer of the meet is because there's no, I don't want to say elite, but there's no dominant sprint freestyler right now.
Right, and that's what's going to make the 50 free even more exciting because, I was looking back through the results, and since 2004, we've had a really good, dominant sprint freestyler. Fred Bousquet, Cesar Cielo, and Nathan Adrian, and now, we've got Jimmy Fegan, who's been kind of nipping at their heels, but, he hasn't really stepped up. So will it be his turn, or will it be Vlad Morozov? I mean, you don't really know.
Has Fegan improved the last couple of years?
Not really in the short course. He's made improvements in long course. Obviously, not enough to really get in, to say he's someone to watch at Olympic trials per se, but.
At one point, he was the future of American sprinting.
Absolutely.
And he certainly could be good enough to make a spot on the Olympic team, but I don't think anybody views him going into this Olympic year as the guy to carry the torch.
Well, he's been 18-9 a couple of times, and in this year, I think 18-9 could win. So he definitely has that background, but will he be able to do that this year?
All right. Aside from that, there's going to be some fast breaststrokes. Your specialty event. This kid from Arizona, this Kevin Cordes. I know he's not much of a talker. We've had him on the show. Can't pull 2 words out of him. But man, has he been an awesome pick for the Wildcats. I mean, I know they recruited him having high hopes, but he was by no means like the blue chip guy, and he's already gone 51.
Yeah, I totally didn't see that coming when he did that in December. I was thinking, this guy's really good, 53 out of high school. I was thinking 52.5 as a freshman, but of course that was depending on how he and Eric Hansen gelled and how everybody was making the transition. Obviously, it's going well. The key is going to be for that 200 breast. Arizona's got the top 3 seeds, and I just think they're going to really try to show that Arizona breaststroke is just a big force to be reckoned with, which is kind of odd because ever since Greg Rodenbaugh left, I was kind of worried about how Arizona breaststroke would be doing, but they've been doing phenomenally.
To his credit, though, he helped build that place into a breaststroke stronghold. I mean, they second to Southern Cal probably, or at least the women that they have training post-grad. Mm-hmm. There's not a better center for breaststroke in the country right now. Going back to sprint for a second, I have to notice, I mean, it's become almost like as guaranteed as death and taxes. Auburn will win the 200 freestyle relay at the beginning of the meet.
Yeah.
It is absolutely incredible, even given the struggles that Auburn has had lately, both men's and women's side. They're no longer a dynasty program, but they still turn out the best 50 freestylers in the country every year.
Well, when the coach is a nationally and internationally known 50 freestyler, he's obviously going to know how to bring in the 50 freestylers. And it's just amazing the talent he can pull out, because some of the guys that he's really developed through the years never really were on anybody's radar before they popped off these great times. Yeah, look at Caesar, who was not.
I know.
Really
I mean,
well
it's
known.
like a sprint factory down there.
Yeah.
The guys that come in with no names and they leave as national champions.
Yeah. So yes, it would be a shock. Well, last year was a shock that Stanford won the 200 free relay, but I think Auburn's hungry. They want to bring that title back.
All right. So again, we've got it down to Texas and Arizona. There are certainly some other teams that are going to be players: Michigan, Stanford. Cal, to a lesser extent, they lost a whole lot of guys last year, but those will probably be the top 4 teams.
I think so. I think that's about right. There's obviously going to be some questions about how diving's going to play out. Texas has, I think, the better divers, but Stanford has Christian Ibsen as well. So you just kind of see how those diving points will factor into the team race. Last year, Cal was really biting their nails because they didn't have the good divers that Texas had. So. This year I'm sure Texas is really depending on Drew Livingston and others to really say this is where we're going to really help the team.
So you agree with me? Day 3 would be the decisive day. It's
Day
not going to
3,
be decided like the last year by day 2.
No, it's going to be who can put up the best prelim session on day 3 to really set them up, because the points are really going to be important that day, because Stanford has, I think, probably the best chance on day 2 to make a big jump. Texas has the best chance on day 3, and Arizona also has the best chance on day 3. So it's just a matter of who can put the most swimmers in finals.
All right. Can't wait. I'm going to be there up at Federal Way doing race day coverage after prelims and finals Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Can't wait to bring that to you. Hope you can watch on swimmingworld.tv. Jeff, thanks a lot.
All right. Have fun, Peter.
All right. Thanks for watching.